Take a look at this.
It just goes to show y'all would have shat on anything Bungie would have dropped that wasn't Destiny. First up, Big Red. 62% of the player base inside of Marathon were fucking Destiny players. This was already confirmed by multiple sources.
I'm surprised it's so low.
62%. Are you shitting me right now?
Marathon fans are retarded. They need to be put in an institution. They need to be put in jail. Every single one of them is delusional. They're so delusional. They're crazy. They're dumb. Like, what are we doing? Really? There's Marathon fans? Yeah. The Goylag.
And that's a completely different game.
I like it.
It's not even a looter. Yet there were people, myself included, that played Marathon when it came out. Why?
I did. I played Marathon. I'm a Bungie fan. I like Bungie.
Because we were dumb fucks. That's why. I fucking thought it was going to give me a D3. That's what I fucking thought.
Yeah. You were stupid and you played
a video game. Don't get me wrong.
Game.
There was elements of Marathon I genuinely enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Like when I turned it off.
It just goes to show.
Like when I turned it off. And so anyway, Goy personality disorder. I'm going to have to maybe add some more of those. I am. It's really good though. Yeah, got him. So anyway, 62% of the player base in Marathon were Destiny players, so as a response to that, they canceled Destiny. I don't really even understand this at all, but anyway, yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous. Stop taking your rage and directing it at a fellow Bungie fan, while the higher-ups and studio executives continue to profit at the death of beloved franchise. Infighting won't make Destiny 3 happen. I mean, you're right about that. I'm seriously considering next week playing Destiny 2. I think that, well, actually, it's not even next week. What is today? It's a Thursday. So probably just this coming week, right? I mean, like, you know, at the end of the weekend or something like that, maybe on Sunday or Monday or something like that, I'll play Destiny 2 for the first time. I don't want to acknowledge it or say it's going to happen for sure. But Star Fox today, we're doing Star Fox today. I'm worried that I'm going to mess it up and it's not going to download right because I haven't used my Switch since I got it. But, you know, we'll see what happens, right? On stream? No, I'm going to play the entire thing off stream. I'm only going to tell you about it. No, of course I'm going to play it on stream, man. Yeah, definitely. All the DLC is $25. Yes, today's Star Fox. It is. Very, very big day. I'm excited. So anyway, Destiny, let me just look at actually what Bungie said about this, because I thought this was kind of funny. And where did it go? Okay, here we go. With great sadness, we are announcing it. Okay, let me go and find it. Alrighty, and welcome home. All right, so should I do it? Is it time? Should I hit him with it? I'm like, this is a big one. This is a really, really, really big one. Cold-blooded. Yeah, it's time. It's 50% of Bungie laid off. The prophecy must be fulfilled. I didn't even want to do this. I want you guys to understand this. Like, I didn't want to have to post this again. They made me post this because of how annoying they are. I don't want to do this. This isn't like me. I'm not having fun right now. Nobody should be having fun. Nobody should be laughing. It's not funny. It's just really sad, right? It is. And so let's go. All right, we have to remain consistent, though. We have to stay strong. So with great sadness, this is from Bungie, and it came out a few hours ago. With great sadness, we are announcing a reduction in force as we reorganize Bungie. That means they're firing a lot of people. As the leaders of Bungie, past and present, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations these past several years. Following our final content update on Destiny 2, and with our future projects still in early incubation, Well, I mean, you've got your early projects in incubation, and you have Marathon and intubation. So it's not really a good thing to have. And Destiny 2 has been doing great, but you're just ignoring it, and it's dying. So that's it. Nobody cares. I guess so. And we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size. So what does that mean? We could not continue operating our previous size. We have to cut 50% of the staff because we decided to kill our biggest game. It's smart, you know. Of course, obviously, people are going to do that. We know this decision has a profound impact on the people affected, their families, friends, and teammates. While these changes are necessary to best position the studio now and for the future, this does not lessen the difficulty of this moment or the impact of those affected. Now, I'm going to be real. I'm going to give like maybe a hot take. Stop making these posts. They're not helping anybody. All they do is provide people that don't like you a chance to dunk on you. Like, you know who really does a great job at making posts like this? Like Google. Google does. They don't make any posts. They don't say, like Facebook does. They don't say anything. It's just everybody comes in and they say, like, why isn't my key card working? And then they're like, sir, you're trespassing on the premises. Wait, I work here. No, you don't. Not anymore. Can I get my stuff? It's already been sent to the trash compactor. Now you're going to jail. The police are coming to arrest you for being at the building you're not supposed to be at, right? Like Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. Exactly. So that's the way that you handle this. Like making these PR posts about, you know, oh, wow, we're so sad to fire everybody. Oh, no. Well, yeah, but who gives a fuck if you're sad about it? You still did it. So I don't see any sort of like real sympathy for these companies. It just feels like a really, really pathetic corporate way of doing damage control, and I don't understand why companies do it. And so, anyway, later we will share more about the future with you all, but today is not that day. Today is not that day. Yeah, I guess it's not. Today, we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted and to those who remain. We hope you will do the same. Well, I sure did. No, I sure did. I definitely did. Oh, yeah, for sure. And so anyway, let's read some of the comments of what people are saying to Bungie. Die in agony. They went woke. I was let go from Bungie today and lost my medical coverage, which supplies my hormone replacement therapy, paid for by my top surgery. This is a very difficult time in our community. Thanks for the great memories. Destiny will be my favorite game. What did we learn? Who could have seen this coming? I thought Marathon was a smashing success. I wonder what happened. I'm not a fan of Destiny at all, but the numbers don't lie. I wonder what happened. By the way, what they're saying about this is that so if you inspect closely about this photo, you'll see that this is all guys. Well, I guess there's one girl there. And now it's all women. And so happy International Women's Day. Can you imagine having this many total women at like a video game company? Oh my God. Like unless you have like a cafeteria or something, there's no reason to have this. But for some reason, they thought it was a good idea. And now we have a game like Marathon. That's it. So it's real. Yeah. And to be fair, it's International Women's Day. Okay, guys, it's International Women's Day. So we have to, you know, remember that. Marathon caused this. Yeah, it's just embarrassing. I fixed it, guys. This is what it should have said. Zero empathy from me. Your fans have been warning about you about this for years. Go fuck yourselves. And what is this here? Any last words? How's Marathon? Man. Is this a Marathon fan right here? Marathon literally has nothing to do with it, dumbass. Sure they don't. You fucked around and now you're finding out. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you to all the devs at Bungie who poured their heart and soul into the game and the community. Destiny is one of a kind. To some of the higher-ups, we have a different message, but we'll save that for another day. This guy's a streamer, Grenadier Jake. So, yeah, oh, there it is, Marathon again. Fuck around and find out. Did we own the chuds? Isn't it crazy how many of these other studios have had this happen? I mean, I feel like Blue Point doesn't deserve to be here, right? But some of the other ones definitely do. And so, yeah, Blue Hair is 24. I guess so. And so, yeah, 7 Cinema's brutal. Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to believe you made one of the greatest franchises ever with Halo. What went wrong? I'm gonna be real, by the way. You seem to be blessed with an overabundance of bigotry and ignorance. Your post shows us clearly who you are. No wonder you're anonymous. I love how, like, they're trying to shame people for doing this. Yeah, nobody wants to show their face because freaks like you will harass people in real life. And one day, it's going to happen to you. And when it does, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to make content out of it. And I'm going to think it's fucking hilarious. And it already does. A lot of these people get harassed like crazy. So anyway, yeah, they call your job. Yeah, they try to get you harassed and, you know, like fired and everything like that. Forcing these like weird ideologies into video games all the time is just something that I think a lot of people don't really want. I don't think that they do. But I think that there's people that work at the studio that want to feel good about themselves, and so they put this into the game. But the reality is that, are the players really asking for this type of media? Do they want this type of representation? I think overwhelmingly the answer is not even that they don't care. I think the answer actually is no. I think a lot of people don't want social messages in video games that directly correlate with real life, you know, like connections. Like, and there's a really big difference too about, like, for example, having a video game where a sexuality of a character is like part of the core understanding of like what the character's complexity is, and it exists on its own and it's interesting, right? And there's video games that cover things like sexuality, you know, sexism, you know, things like racism. Like, there are games that cover these topics really, really well. But the problem is that modern video games, and I think that Western studios just don't have the maturity to do that. They don't have the maturity to tell a story like Metal Gear Solid. They don't have the maturity to tell a story like Metaphor ReFantazio. They don't have the maturity to tell a story like, I don't know, like those are Final Fantasy 16. So they can't add in, you know, minority characters or, you know, diverse characters of like, you know, like non-heteronormative sexualities. They can't add those characters into the story because they don't view those people as people. They view them as like a like, you know, like Chuck E. Cheese has like the mouse running around. It's like a mascot, right? Oh ho ho ho, you know, or Goofy at fucking Disney World. That's the way they treat them, right? Is they treat them like they're like basically fucking you know, like cartoons or something like that. So yeah, they view them as social accessories, exactly. And I think this is a huge problem, and it's a huge problem for these minority groups too, because I think that, like, for example, this is going to be maybe like a hot take, but I think that the hardline push by like virtue signalers to get people to accept stuff like trans and like you know, gay stuff, like even non-binary, I think that the hardline push to do that, and like the really heavy-handed approach to it that, you know, seemingly can't be criticized inside of mainstream media circles, I actually think that's hurt those movements. I do. I think it's hurt those movements in a really big way. And I think that it's taken, like, a lot of people would think that, like, it's silly to cross-dress, but I don't think that they had, like, any sort of, like, real, like, genuine animosity. Whereas now, I think that a lot of people actually do have genuine animosity and hostility towards those groups of people because of how much that media has been pushed, right? They're high on SSRIs. Yeah, it's like you're pushing it too much. That's really it. Even Asmon, was Asmon a burp when talking? I don't know, that's a good question. But yeah, anyway, so a lot of old school gay people do not like all the trans stuff. Well, I think being trans, like, so this is my opinion, right, is that I think that LGBT should not be LGBT. I think that there should be gay, and there should also be trans and non-binary, right? Because being gay is just how you see other people, and being trans and non-binary is how you see yourself. So, like, fundamentally, these are two very different groups of, like, problems, and they're two very different groups of asks in society. Like, gay people want to have the same rights as everybody else. A trans person wants to have the rights as somebody that they're not, right? It's like the opposite gender. They want to have the right to go into a woman's bathroom. They want to have the right to be, you know, like, treated as a woman in women's spaces, like a woman's only gym or something like that. So, fundamentally, their problems and the asks that they have on society are just fundamentally, like, completely different. No LGBT line is drawn at T. Yeah, exactly. How can you be bi if there's more than two genders? I think it's just a holdover from back before the you know, the world went completely insane. But yeah, that's it. You recover the Dave Chappelle skit about LGBT? Oh, he's had a lot of them. He has. So, like, that's generally the way that I see it. is that Tim Dillon's rant about this same issue, he's a gay comedian. I didn't even know Tim Dillon was gay. I have no idea. But like overall, I think that people just generally don't want to, they don't want to have to, like, whenever you're around a gay person, you don't have to behave differently in any sort of a way. But like when you're around a trans person, you do. And I think the difference is that you have to use language and vocabulary that you might not necessarily be familiar with or comfortable with or you agree with. Like just because somebody, for example, puts on makeup, it doesn't make them a woman, right? It's just not the way it works. And so like, yeah, I mean, especially because like, you know, you can just say that you're trans. And so does that automatically mean that you're trans? I don't think that's really true. So the problem that I have with this is that you have, let me take this back to Destiny because I'm going really off topic right now. Is that like, I think people just get fatigued by seeing things like this. They do. They get fatigued by seeing this stuff. And I wish that we could go back to where pride was something that like some guys celebrated that were gay. And it was a cool thing that you could be like, okay, yeah, this is a cool thing. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys can be yourselves. But like now that it's like a corporate approved mandatory worship session with certain companies like Bungie, for example, I think that it kind of takes away from the, you know, the real essence of what it is, right? Agreed? Yeah, definitely, right? I mean, because, you know, I've never really been against, I'm not really against pride, but I am against pride when it's something that's being enforced by all of these different companies. Because at that point, it becomes basically mandatory celebrations for leftist politics. They're being orchestrated through large companies and corporations. And I don't like that. I think that's ridiculous. So that's why I hate it. Yeah, I'm not even against pride. I don't think that's a big deal at all. I just don't want to see it plastered all over everything and every company trying to make money off of it. I find it to be just kind of disgraceful. So yeah, everybody is basically happy about this. Were there any Latin... wait. What? Being Latin A-E-O-X? Latin... Oh, Latin X. That's a slur. That's, I know that, yeah. Is more than just the location on the map, just as being Hispanic is more than just the language that we might speak. We are proud to introduce our newest idea, Latin at Bungie. So this is what you guys did, is you spent all of this time and energy around, and also you might think that this stuff doesn't matter, but here's the problem. In order for a company to manifest this on social media, the entire, what's the word for it? What's the way to explain it? The entire company culture has to be basically positively surrounding this. And I think that's the main thing, is that there is probably a culture of toxic positivity around this behavior at the company. So it's not like anybody can say that this is, you know, like, oh, just a handful of social media interns. I think that many of these companies have this as basically the policy. It's a costly apparatus to support this. Yeah, as a Latino, I take that as a slur. I mean, I don't know. Like in Texas, we just call them Mexicans, right? Because 99% of them are Mexicans. But other than that, like I wouldn't call somebody Latino. I would say that they're El Salvadoran. I'd say they're Mexican. I'd say they're Peruvian, right? I mean, like, I guess I don't really use the Latino like word a lot, right? But Hispanic, yeah, we use Hispanic. Yeah, we did use Hispanic a lot. But, you know, Latin or whatever you want to call it, right? And I don't know. But anyway, just say Hispanic. Yeah, I guess so, right? But anyway, so this is the way that Bungie was doing things. This is what they were focusing on. And this was the company ethos. This is what they were about. And guess what? You bring in a bunch of social justice Karens into a video game that want to use it as a vehicle for them to feel good about themselves, pretending to care about their token minority pets. Well, then this is what you get. You get 50% reduction in workforce, and all of these people are now fired. And I think that's really funny. I think it's great. I'm happy to see this. This is a moment of support to developers. If someone you see was a former Bungie dev and you have the ability to boost their work, now is the time to do it. Maybe, maybe not, unless they're bad. And this really sucks, man. Expected after all the rumors and news, but it still sucks. Hoping everyone can bounce back quickly. I'm not. I don't know why people do this virtue signal around hoping that developers that made bad video games and contributed to a decline in quality of a company end up finding good employment. Why would you want them to find another job so they can just fuck up another game over there too? I don't want them to find another job. I want them to go to Section 8 housing and collect unemployment. And maybe they can work at McDonald's if they're really smart, you know? These people are Destiny only streamers. They're just saying that because it's their main game. I guess. I get that makes sense. Yeah, sure, that's fine. It shows a high cost of shunning straight white males and going all in on third world gender communism. I think this is absolutely true. And also, like, by the way, I'm so glad and I'm so proud of everybody for being so toxic. I really am. These people, I think you have to keep in mind that these purple-haired, weird, freak, social justice, virtue signaler, liberal women that are coming into our video games, they are the colonizers, okay? They are the conquistadors. We are the native people of video games. We are the chuds. We have been here for the entirety of video games, and they are coming in like a fucking colonizer, and they're trying to change our games. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And thank God we're getting rid of them. The chud, somebody said in chat, the chud reconquista. I like that. That sounds good. And every single one of these companies that gets shut down, that fails, and that stumbles, I think we want to rub their face in it as much as possible and make it so obvious that this culture and this environment that they've created is toxic to making money, and it will result in absolute failure. And the more that you do that, the more effective it will become. So yeah, I'm very happy about it. And Conquistadors, I remember that. Yeah, it was funny. A W day for Supreme Court. Yeah, they destroyed the movie industry. We won't let it happen to games. Well, people just simply aren't buying the games. I think that's really what's happening. And they just lose interest in it. So yeah, it looks like Bungie has done a massive layoff. And I think that's not really a big surprise. I'll see if there's anything else here. Bungie, where is it here? And yeah, 62%. Has laid off a significant amount of staff following the final update for Destiny 2. Sony Interactive confirms the cut. Of course they did. Bungie, as part of PlayStation, has suffered significant layoffs, including most of the Destiny team and some on Marathon 2. There are over 400 people in Bungie's current layoff call. Can you imagine that? All right, everybody join the call. Wait, why is there 100 people? Oh no! Oh no! CEO also stepped down? I didn't see that. Bungie died long ago? Yeah, the Bungie CEO stepped down? Is that true? I don't know about any of this. But his CEO on Destiny, Sony Interactive must have been laid off. Oh wow, yeah, Bungie studio head Justin Truman. Oh, bald. Yeah, okay, so Baldy got removed. And beware of over-delivery. You're creating patterns. I don't know what any of this is. Should have tried to deliver your loyal customers. Yeah. And this fucker, I don't have any opinion on him, right? I can't go and say like, okay, this guy's gonna do a way better job or anything. And this is the guy that's taking over. I mean, he's got way better hair. Right? He's immediately got way better hair. Now, does that translate to making a better video game? I really don't know, right? But like, yeah, who knows, guys? Looks like a femboy? Not really. Guy's a bit too old for that. But yeah, sure. They did a tank swap? Maybe they did. I guess we'll have to find out. Jason Schreier reports that most of the layoffs affected the Destiny development team, some Marathon team members, and some Sony employees who worked with Bungie. So it was basically everybody from Destiny 2, a lot of people from Marathon, or some people from Marathon, and even some people from their Sony connection. Oh my god. That's crazy. Well, there you go, guys. This is the Chuds winning again. PlayStation's Herman Hulst calls Bungie layoffs necessary. Absolutely fucking necessary. You know what? I completely agree. And anyway, this is an amazing piece of news. I'm very happy that it happened. And that's it. No shot, you're looking at this? Wait, you're surprised that I'm looking at video game, like, firing news? Let's check out the official Sony message. Let me see here. Sony message. Where is it? Did Sony make a statement on this? I don't know if they really did. No, I'm not seeing anything like this. Maybe it's somewhere and I'm just not looking at it. I don't know if they have like a post on this about Sony. Can I search for Sony? Sony here. Like maybe they're going to have a post. No, it's just about It's about some random video.
Paint, I do all mediums. That's
No,
like
this
oil
isn't even for fucking PlayStation. This is something else. It was in the memo. Oh, okay. Well, either way, that's it. It's done. An update from PlayStation Studios on Google. Okay, I can find it real quick, and then we'll look at it just to wrap all this up. An update from PlayStation Studios. Sony Interacto. Below is an internal email from Herman Holst, CEO of Studio Business Group, Sony Interactive. Today, I want to share a difficult update regarding Bungie. We've made the decision to reduce Bungie's workforce, affecting a significant number of employees, including most of the Destiny... Oh, this is what he said. Oh, shit. Including most of the Destiny team, some Marathon team members, and there are also reductions across SIE teams that support Bungie's operations. Those impacted at Bungie are being informed today. This is painful news, especially for talented colleagues whose roles have been eliminated. The decision was only made after extensive discussion and careful consideration, and I want to provide some context on how we arrived here. Gentlemen, say no more. Let me provide the context myself. So if you look right here at the number, so you'll see that the number was like, it was high, and then it started going lower. And then as the number approached a number that's like right here, like now we're at 9,000, right? This is 1 week. There. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is simple goinomics. It is. Now, this is a bad one. Okay? You guys are really not going to like this. Marathon fans, turn off the stream. Take a look at this. New World, when it got canceled, even at its lowest of low, was at 6,000 players. And for the majority of time with New World had a more consistent and a more popular player base than Destiny did. And New World was such a massive failure that not only did it kill the the studio that made it, it killed Amazon Game Studios. I want you guys to understand this. This is what you're dealing with, Marathon players, okay? You're on a sinking ship. You're on the Titanic right now. It's a goy flop. It is. It's an absolute goy flop. And that actually, you know what? I'll have to think about that one. That one might have to go on the list. And I like goy flops. And I like New World. I did too. I liked it more than Marathon, I'll tell you that. So anyway, this is what's going to happen. Our immediate priority is supporting affected employees through this transition. We're providing transition support and, where possible, working to identify opportunities where they can get other jobs. And this is, as Bungie recently shared its Destiny 2 update, the studio has begun a new journey following the release of the game's final live service content update. What Bungie has accomplished with Destiny over the past decade has been truly remarkable. The franchise has left a lasting mark on players in the industry, and everyone who contributed to its success should be proud of what they helped create. Marathon remains an important part of our portfolio. Yeah, and we will continue to support the team as they build on the strong foundation established in seasons 1 and 2 and work on incubation efforts for future projects. While it's too early to discuss, we are encouraged by the creativity and opportunities that lie ahead. Oh, you're encouraged? This is encouraging? Oh, so like, are you like, maybe he's like some kind of retarded. That's what it could be, right? It could be some kind of retarded or something else. Most devs probably don't agree with the direction of the games, and they simply have to follow orders. I think that you guys really downplay the amount and the role that hiring processes play on changing a company's culture. I think that whenever you hire a bunch of blue-haired freaks to run a video game, they're going to run that video game into the ground. They're going to do that, and they will change the company's culture in a dramatic way. And you only need a handful of these people to do that. And you also have them insulated by HR, and then you have more of these people that are getting hired. I think that as soon as a company contracts the illness of the cancer of DEI, it's a dead company. I do. I really think it's that simple because Western studios are unable to inoculate themselves to this. They're unable to avoid doing this. And so as soon as they start hiring people that, you know, don't know what gender they are and they've invented a name like Lilith for themselves that everybody has to call them, this is something that is the beginning of the end for video games. It is. It's the beginning of the end. What is this here? The higher-ups are the ones who says what needs to be done? What's your point? You're like, oh, I thought you were somebody else. I'm just gonna time you out. I don't want to read your messages. Everybody knows higher-ups are responsible too. Like, I think higher-ups should also be fired. Like, I mean, I think that the reason why I'm not really talking about that a lot, because I feel like everybody kind of agrees, right? It's like, if you have to lay off half your studio, you probably should fire the people running it. Like, duh, of course. Like, we all know this. Like, of course you should remove the people that are, like, you know, yes, obviously, you know, there's people that should know how to swim whenever they're evacuating a ship, but the first person that should be fired is the fucking captain. Duh. But we're not talking about that because it's a foregone conclusion. We all know this. And so market conditions, yeah, this is where things are at with Destiny and with Bungie. And so I'm glad to see this happen. I really am. I want to see more studios like Bungie fail. Every time that I see a studio that's a virtue signal studio fail, I am more happy because it's another W for the Chuds. It's another Chud victory. Fuck off. I would not celebrate layoffs at any studio, woke or not. Why not, Paul? If you think that there's a studio that's contributing to the, like, for example, like, I think that a lot of people would celebrate if, like, Hoyoverse ever failed. Because they were the company that normalized gacha games that turned a lot of video games, or EA for FIFA, for example. A lot of people would celebrate if those companies failed because those companies were, you know, basically the harbingers of negative features and negative things in video games. That's it. Paul was sympathy farming them? Oh, I'm not. I'm happy when people that I don't like fail. I am. I'm very happy. Paul got fired today. Ubisoft was one. Yeah, exactly. And I agree with everything, but learning how bad one of my favorite devs have got is depressing. Yeah, I know that. And Pinnacle, you talk about being happy about the pinnacle of gaming studios laying off and dying. What is the ideal studio? It seems like nothing is the answer. What is the ideal studio? Studios that make good video games. I don't care about the studio. I don't. Like, now, there's a handful of studios like Capcom, you know, Squaresoft, or not, I'm 30 years late, Square Enix, Japan, you know, like you have, you know, fucking From Software, like I would say Saber Interactive, you know, CI Games, they made Lords of the Fallen, I like them, Larian, like, I mean, Warhorse, you know, like, I mean, Grinding Gear Games, that's another great example, but like, I don't really care a lot about the studio, I care about the game, and I think that really, like, I don't care about any of this. So Paul was upset about this. I would not celebrate layoffs in any studio, woke or not. I absolutely do, and I hope these people never find another job in game development again, and I hope they have to keep working, and they have to go and work at McDonald's. I do. I don't want to see these people involved in media ever again. I think they're awful, they're annoying, and they make everything worse. So I agree with Paul somewhat, though. I know, look, I like Paul. I do. I like Paul. But I'm sorry, I'm going to take the low road. I'm the bad guy. I'm the asshole. I'm the one that has to do it. And if somebody's got to take the old dog to the back of the barn and put it down, I'm going to do so. I'm going to be like, all righty, boys. I'll be right back. And that's just the way I am, man. And so, why do you want people to work at McDonald's? I think it's a shitty job. What my point is that I want these people to be reduced to demeaning, degrading jobs that nobody has any respect for, because I think that they're worthless garbage, and I want them to be as disenfranchised from having any influence on society as possible. And to the extent that I can contribute to that disadvantagement of those people, I will do so with a smile, and I will wake up in the morning every single day day and look forward to making their lives worse. That's what I mean to say. McDonald's is simply a metaphor, okay? Like, you have to understand this. Like, this is what I do. This is there's nothing, as I said, there's nothing stronger than love. Not for me, unless you want to count loving to hate. I hate these people, and I want to make it as unpleasant for them as possible. And if I can help shut down one of their trash studios, and this is the other thing too, and I want to say this is self-defense. It's self-defense. These people came into a company that made Halo 2, and they turned it into bullshit. Nobody asked you to do that. You came into a place that you didn't belong, and then you changed it, and now you're playing the sympathy card when people are glad that you're gone. These people would call me a racist. They would try to get me fired from my job. They would try to get you fired for even watching me, for agreeing with me. Absolutely not. No, I have zero sympathy, and I love to watch these people fail. What if they make the McNuggets gay? Oh my God, you're right. They could make like a third, because you know how like there's like 4 shapes of McNuggets? They could have a 5th shape of McNugget, and it could be like a chicken dick, right? And like the balls and dick, and then maybe you feed those to people. I don't know, man. It seems like it's kind of a bad idea. Maybe McDonald's isn't the best idea. Maybe they work at Starbucks instead. Yeah, a new like type of McNugget. What? A chicken dick? Yes. I don't mean an actual Okay, guys, you know what? Let's just not talk about chicken dicks anymore, because people are gonna misunderstand this. Maybe they can do it. Maybe they can work at Starbucks or something else. Why not mine? That's actually a really good point. Why are we even letting these people touch our food? So here I have the perfect job. Cobalt, mines, and... So, you can see right here, I think actually this is, this is a really good idea. I didn't think about this, but that's a good point. Yeah, so this is a lot better. And so we send them over here. Yeah, cobalt mining. I think this is a way better idea. They can use computers, or they can make computers for us. Yeah, the mines. Yeah, and look at the lack of diversity here. There's only Africans here. I think that it would help the diversity efforts if we had some more gender non-binary and some more white people come in there and help populate these cobalt mines to create a more diverse workforce. Obviously, this enriches everything according to them, so it only makes sense that we send a lot of these rich liberal white girls with purple hair over to the Congo to farm out cobalt. Right? Seems like a great idea. I think you're onto something. It is. And people are, what is this here? People are pretending Rupert is faltering and giving into woke. He was never against immigration of people who immigrate correctly. Well, oh yeah, I did see this a little bit. Let me see if I can pull this up and find it. Let me finish this up real quick, but I will talk about that because I think it's so stupid. So yeah, good for the environment in my area. Yeah, so we need to send them to the cobalt. Maybe I need to update this photo. And so, yeah, Paul is mad. He's upset. You live in a pile of filth filled with cockroaches. Your teeth rotted out of your skull because you can't do basic hygiene. You look like a living corpse. No wonder what happens to these poor devs. None of them will ever be as cursed as you are. Okay, well, that sounds great. I'm sure that's going to be the start of a really good DeviantArt post, and I can't wait to read the rest of it. But anyway, Marathon still is failing. Destiny 2 was a great game, and they ignored it. And all these people lost their jobs, and I'm still sitting here talking about the game. That's it.